Hi folks, it's Dr. Jeff Camargo with a piece called Estate Planning for Art, Antiques, and Valuable Collectibles. Now, folks that bother about estate planning often have a tendency to collect interesting and often valuable items, from art and antiques, watches to jewelry, to firearms and baseball cards, to numismatic or bullion coins. Unlike real estate, bank or brokerage accounts, or even business ownership interests, which at least show up on tax returns somewhere, personal property items, things you can pick up and feel and that kind of thing, non-real estate items, can pose an added layer of estate planning complexity for several major reasons. Number one, tracking. Personal property items are easily lost or forgotten. They may be lost in an attic, in a house sold to strangers, pilfered by a family black sheep or flock, stolen by help, or misplaced in any number of other ways. Justin Anthony of Artwork Archive suggests a software solution, his firm offers one of course, to track such inventory, and advises an internet solution with seat licensing or limited and identifiable access so that Uncle Fester can't go a-messin with your catalog of Inquisition tongue-loosening instruments. He also suggests a documents attachment function so that receipts, appraisals, and other imprimaturs and bona fides of providence are easily fetched. Next, assignment and transfer. Since personal property can often sprout legs, it's a good idea to make sure that all applicable parties, including heirs, attorneys, and advisors, are kept current on inventory lists or other tracking mechanisms with clear instructions on who gets what, perhaps also copied to will addenda or trust exhibits A, just to make sure nothing gets lost and no one is shortchanged. Photographs, serial numbers, and other identifying data can be very helpful for more fungible items like firearms. Next item is security and insurance. As mentioned, personal property is apt to travel without a trace, subject to such boosts by family members, help, and strangers of opportunity. It should go without mention, but of course I will anyway, that prudent precautions like safes, safety deposit boxes, and alarm systems should be deployed as appropriate. Since transportable valuables present greater risks, not only of theft, but even of fire disaster complications owing to differences in insurance rules, the wise would do well to inquire of their insurers of any special considerations due such valuables. Often separate deductibles, endorsements, riders, and proofs of location and ownership apply to keep insurance companies firmly on the hook. And you want them firmly on the hook, don't you? Documentation. According to Mr. Anthony, especially for art and important antiques, it's critical to assemble key documentation, I quote here, that bolsters authenticity and records provenance, including certificates of authenticity, bills of sale, condition reports, artist notes, and photographs, as well, I think, as appraisals and insurance reports. Back to quotes again, gaps in documentation can lead to extreme challenges in establishing provenance and/or authenticity. This is a field where fraud runs rampant and imitations have flooded the market for years, making it a challenge for even the most competent appraisers and authorities to clarify and certify authenticity. The more thoughtful you are with the documentation of the work, the easier it is to establish value and authenticity. Thank you, Justin. Next item is valuation. Unlike stocks and other bills, or dollar bills, I should say, dollar bills, for which an undisputable market price can be quickly determined, most personal property swims in a very illiquid market where the price is very much in the wallet of the buyer, if a buyer can even be found. Often specialized knowledge is required to even come close to a fair price, and sellers who lack it are routinely screwed. Such market inefficiencies can breed complexity and opportunity, both for transactors and those looking to peg value, such as for insurance and sellers. Obviously, if you're a seller or you're looking to insure it, the thing is priceless. Or if you try to save tax or find a buyer, or if you are a buyer rather, I do declare, who gives a whit for that moth-eaten old thing? Right? So your perspective is really, really paramount in your perception of value and what your agenda is. And unlike a share of stock or a dollar bill, there's no question about the value. You know, that Queen Anne chair in the corner could have a huge range of value of market transaction prices. Next item, estate tax issues. Those who are or may be exposed to estate taxes need ponder one more complexity. Certainly the valuation dichotomy explored above should be worked to the very ethical moth-eaten limit to minimize tax bleed. In other words, you want to have the minimum ethical value that you pay tax on if possible. But moreover, given personal property's ramble in nature, it would be wise to keep accurate inventories to make sure that all value is properly accounted for if an estate tax return is due. Often, such items are tempted to be forgotten at tax time, since unlike securities, bank accounts, real estate, and so on, IRS does not have a very good bead on estate ownership of the assets, whether or not they are spirited away by family sheep, black or otherwise. And that concludes yet another long-winded piece. Hopefully that was useful to you, especially if you're collectors. If not, please pass it on. Until next time, thanks for watching. This is Dr. Jeff Camarda.